Hi guys, Sandra here of the blog ResentibleMom.com, and today I'm going to share a quick review of what I think about the Bob's Red Mill oatmeal cups. Alright, so here are the oatmeal cups, and some of you may remember these from a grocery haul video that I shared a few weeks ago. I showed you guys these and I talked about how I was most excited to try out the blueberry and hazelnut oatmeal cup. So I'll go ahead and start off with my review of this one. Now, to be completely honest, as I was eating it, I was disappointed. It didn't taste as yummy and delicious as I was hoping it was going to taste, and so that was really disappointing. And I was thinking, you know what, I would not go out of my way to buy this flavor in the grocery store. That was until I turned the oatmeal cup on its side and I looked at the nutrition information, because I've been reading labels quite a bit lately. So I looked at the nutrition information and I got really excited because, if you guys can see, this one oatmeal cup has 60% of the amount of iron that a normal person needs in a day. So it has 60% of the amount of iron that I need in a day. And that just made me so excited that I went and told my husband about it. And the reason that this is important to me is because I've really been focusing on getting more iron in my diet lately, because as some of you guys may remember, we had a carbon monoxide leak in our home back in May of this year, and I had no idea, but I found out after we went to the emergency room. All 7 of us ended up in the emergency room, and I found out that day that I am very anemic, and that is why I was most affected by the carbon monoxide. The ER doctor basically told me that I look like a pale zombie, and that I was very anemic, and she was pointing out how nice and pink my daughter's cheeks were, and just talking about how pale I was and how I was so anemic, and that I was very close to, passing out and very close to going into a very bad place with my health because of the carbon monoxide and because I was so anemic. So I just made it out of my house just in time. I was completely delirious by the time I got outside, and my daughter had to help hold me up, but I had not reached the point of passing out, but I was very close. And she told me that's because I was so anemic, and I was affected the most because I am so anemic. So I had no idea about that. And so ever since that day, I have been paying attention to labels and trying to get more iron in my diet. So that is why I was so excited about seeing that the blueberry and hazelnut oatmeal cup has so much iron in it. And because of that, I would buy it at the grocery store. And now I also want to say that the reason I think that I'm anemic is because for the past 9 years or so, I have been either pregnant or breastfeeding one of my children, and sometimes I've been both. I've been both pregnant and breastfeeding a child at the same time for about 9 years. I did have a 1 or 2 month gap where I had stopped breastfeeding David. He got sick. He was 2 years old. He got sick, and he basically self-weaned during that sickness. And then I had like a month or 2 off, and where I wasn't pregnant or breastfeeding, and then boom, I was pregnant with Elizabeth, and then I extended breastfed her until she was 4, and we actually just stopped breastfeeding earlier this year. And that is because my health, I was just having some health issues, and I was telling my husband about them, and I was just feeling really, really depleted, like my body was depleted. So I started focusing on my health more this year. I started reading more labels and looking at vitamins in the food that I was eating, and I started paying attention to nutrition facts a lot more. And as soon as January rolled around, I started really thinking about weaning, and we just started kicking it into high gear, just because, I wasn't feeling great. My health wasn't great, but I had no idea that I was anemic. So I knew I was depleted. I knew something was wrong. I knew I needed to stop breastfeeding, but I didn't know I was anemic. So I'm glad I know that now, and I'm glad I can do something about that now. And part of what I'm going to do is eat more of these blueberry and hazelnut oatmeal cups, because they've got so much iron in them. Because you'd be surprised, lots of foods only have like 10% of the amount of iron that you need in a day, or maybe 4%. And so to have 60% of the amount of iron that you need in a day in one food is just wonderful. So that is my little review of the blueberry and hazelnut oatmeal cup and some extra information about my health that I threw in there. And now as for these two flavors, I love them. My favorite by far is the apple pieces and cinnamon oatmeal cup. This is just delicious. The apple pieces are just so tasty and so lovely in this oatmeal cup. This is just really yummy and really, really nice. And now this one over here, the brown sugar and maple, is also delicious, and it tastes exactly how you think it tastes. It tastes like an oatmeal cup with brown sugar and maple in it, and tastes really good. And I also love that these two oatmeal cups, in addition to the blueberry and hazelnut oatmeal cup, they've all got flax and chia in them, which makes them even healthier. And so that is my review of the Bob's Red Mill Oatmeal Cups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.